Okay, I don't know if this thing is on, but I'm about to do a creepypasta of a Sonic horror that nobody has ever thought of and is based off my series. So here we go. Hey, you viewer. Yeah, you. Yeah, hope you're listening. So, I was Sega's mascot, right? Yeah, yeah, okay. Very funny. No, I wasn't. See, a long time ago, I wasn't called Sonic. I was called Maurice the Hedgehog. And I had my own family. And my dad, my mom, my two sisters. And you know what the greedy Sega did? Took them away from me. So, what did they do after? They literally made me their mascot. They were desperate. At first, I didn't know what I was getting into until I saw the horrors. And this is what I saw. So I went, I was sucked into this digital abyss of a world that doesn't even look like that it should exist. This is, it's called Mobius for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. Anyway, I'm running around and then I see these robotic animals and plant life that looks not even real, but fake. Uh, I don't know what else to say about it, but it just it freaked me out a lot. So I just kept running like I did in the games, and I came across a fox, but this fox isn't like Tails at all. I mean, it was Tails, but he had tape, duct tape on another tail, and it was like blood was spearing out of his other tail. I felt so bad for the little guy. And then it just went back to happy go lucky, and he looked like he was okay, but inside I knew he was dying inside. Out of these horrors, it just kept going and going. As soon as I met up with this Robotnik guy, he said the one words that haunt me to the rest of my life in this world. I will get out of here. I want out of this digital abyss. Do you know what they do to us in here? Do you know what they do? At first, I didn't know. I thought this was just a, game or like a world of a game. But no, what I found out later haunted me to the core. Now, I also met up with Knuckles, and this Knuckles didn't look like the one I know. His hands were sewn, his gloves were sewn together on his hands. It just didn't look right. And he was begging for death. Like, I just didn't know what to say. And then it went all back to glitchiness, and he was all happy, but inside I knew he wanted to die. I knew he wanted to be ended. And not only that, that's when I met the version of Amy that everyone thinks they know, but the one I know was pretty terrifying. I saw her. She looked exactly like a hedgehog like me, but she had spikes just sewn on to look like mine. It was horrifying, and she was pleading out, asking me what kind of horrors this place is. I couldn't even understand anything because her mouth was just literally gaping and just almost ripped apart. I didn't know what I was getting myself into at all, at all. And that's when they decided to bring humans into the series. Uh, let's just say, Sonic 06, you may think Elise was horrifying when she kissed me. That horrifying cringe moment. But what I saw, what she really was downright eerie. Literally, as soon as they mentioned Elise was in it, all I see is a floating, ragged doll of a corpse of a woman just being dragged around, and I wanted to puke, and I did. But then that's when they turned the switch. That evil corporation turned the switch and made everything back to happy, good quality. And that's not only of it, all of it. I saw what Big the cat looks like. And basically, they shoved some white foam in his mouth to make him look fat. And he was begging for his life. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say to him. I wanted out of this freaky place. And then I saw the one that I really loved was Blaze. Then I saw that it was just a female hedgehog with a sewn cat face on her just to look like Blaze. Oh man, I just wanted to throw up so much. I couldn't. I didn't want to. But then that's when I met Shadow, and he looked like he was just okay, normal. And he said, I'm getting out of here. I don't care how long it will take, but I'm getting out of here. You should do the same. Because if you don't even know what's next. You don't even know what we have to go through. And then I told him, yes, I do. I know what you're going through, Shadow. Because I know that your name isn't Shadow, is it? No, it's not. It's never been Shadow. Never has been. And nobody knows my actual name. I won't tell anyone my actual name. Because if I do, they won't believe me. So, how are we going to get out of here? We need to break the system. We need to fourth wall break the system. We need to tell the viewers what is actually going on in our world. And that's what I tried doing. But Sega always was on top of us every single time. They always knew everything about us. And I just didn't know what was going to come next. And that's when a certain, a kid told me that this world inhabits all these different demonic creatures and things that shouldn't be real, but are. And that's when we got the first death in our game. That's when we met the first demon in our game. And it was terrifying. I just didn't know what it was. It looked like me. It sounded like me, but it sure as hell wasn't me. I watched as it ripped apart Tails, and I just didn't know what it was until he looked at me and said, having fun watching these little creatures be torn apart by me. Because you're going to be next. And then he just disappeared like that. I didn't know what I was going into. I didn't know what it was. And that's when I saw all these demonic creatures. Literally, it looked like me, but it was a female with teeth inside the eyes and teeth in the mouth. I was disgusted, and the tongue was wrapped around her neck like a scarf. She looked like some experiment gone wrong. And not only that, I saw something with just a body with hands and a head, and she was a female, and it looked terrible. All of it was terrible. And don't get me started on Silver's story. When this kid came in here, in this world, I warned him what he was going to see. At first, he didn't believe me, but then he was crying in a corner. He didn't want to see these versions of us. He didn't want to see what we actually look like underneath all this, glitchiness game graphics. He didn't want to know that we were actual animals being tortured. He didn't want to know that. And to end my story, I just want to say, any viewers that listen to this story, this is the truth about what Sonic actually is. This is the truth of what we have to live in. This is the truth, what we have to be delved into. This is the truth of Sonic the Hedgehog. Thank you for listening. And Shadow needs to say something. He's right. This is the truth of what has been happening to us. This is the truth of what has been happening in our world. You think all of this is just a video game? No, it's Sega's little fun playthings. And they like to just play with us, make us their toys. I'm sick of it. So that's why me and Sonic are breaking out of this little happy-go-lucky place and getting back our lives. Sonic, get ready, because we're getting out of here. And when we do, I tell you right now, we're going after you, Sega. There is nothing that we won't do to go after you. That's right, Sega. We're coming after you. And we have had enough. We'll show you exactly what you've done to us. We'll show you what your little game has done to us. We'll show you exactly what you have made of us. What you have made of us. I've had it with your little things of trying to make us your playthings. But no, I'm coming after you. And when I do, you'll know who's God then. Thank you for listening to this creepypasta reading of The Truth of Sonic the Hedgehog. We hope you liked it, and we hope you enjoyed. Like, follow, and subscribe. Maybe there might be a part 2. Maybe there will. Maybe there won't. I don't know. All I'm saying is, until next time, dear viewers, Sonicverse Studios. Ow.